All right, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. All right, I think we're officially ready now. All right, and 3, 2, 1. What is good, everybody? It is your boy Full Odds, aka FWZ Fuzi, aka Black Saitama, aka I think I'm gonna start calling myself the Militia and Weeb. For those who don't know, I recently joined. Recommend would you like to download and install it? No. All right. Either way, let's get back to what I was about to say. For those who don't know, I recently made a life change, a big one actually. I've joined the military. But don't get all your knickers in a bunch and say like, oh my God, this guy's in the military. You know, it's not like that. It's actually pretty nice. It's different. That's all I gotta say. It's different. What I want to say is that I recently joined the military for multiple reasons. One, COVID-19. Like literally, the COVID-19 is like the biggest killer in economic employment in the world. It is so annoying getting a job out here because of COVID-19. For those who do have jobs, I commend you. You know, for those who have good jobs, you know, those who like are financially stable and whatnot. But me, just like after like dropping out of college and just doing me, I tried to find a job out here and it was ridiculous. And mind you, it's not like one of those things where it's like, oh, you should have stayed in college and got yourself a job because then you could have been financially stable. Man, shut the fuck up. All right, I don't know anyone of my friends who graduated college that has a job right now. They're still living at their parents' house. They're doing some basic 9-to-5 bullshit. You know, everyone else is doing it too. So don't like come at me some type of way thinking that college is better for everyone. You know, it's not like that. If anything, the military is better for everyone because they get you set. They get you a stable job. They put you in a place where you know you have food and shelter over your head every month. Unlike the U.S. government out here trying to fuck people. Shout out to Trump and everyone not giving me that money. I'm sorry, I can't say that. But either way, getting back to what I was gonna say. In today's video, I wanted to go over what it's like to be in the Air National Guard, and more specifically, I want to talk about the differences between the active duty guard or active duty militia versus the active duty militia versus what was I gonna say? Active duty militia versus active duty militia versus the folks who are in Air National Guard versus the folks who are reserve, right? So Air National Guard, right? You have Air National Guard, and for those who don't know, the Air National Guard is kind of just like a component of the U.S. military, you know, or actually active duty. Let's go with active duty. So active duty is what it is. It is what it is. It means active duty. It means you're in the military full time. It means that whenever the U.S. government, and I say U.S. government, the federal government needs your help or needs your assistance in some type of combatical or militant way, they'll call on you. You know what I'm saying? It's just like the idea is that you had a job. You were trained for a job within the active duty component, right? You're trained for a job, like say for instance, you're trained to do IT, right? And at one point, the U.S. military needs some IT agents over at certain bases, or has an IT agent necessary in a certain town or whatever. So the U.S. government will call onto you and say, hey, since you're an IT tech, we need you over here to help out with installation of certain components and computer software. And you're gonna say yes. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Your job's to do whatever the government says. You know, if you need to go to Timbuktu, they'll send you to Timbuktu. If you need to stay in California, stay in California. But that's kind of how active duty is. Your life, once you sign that dotted line, when it comes down to the active duty recruiter, your life belongs to them. You know, your life belongs to the military. Is it bad? It depends on who you are. If you have a life outside the military and you want to live your life to the fullest, don't join the military. Are you serious? Like, there's people who think that they can do whatever they want in the military because they join the military. No, like, you join the military because you want to do service. You join the military because you want to be part of that role. You want to be that person for the U.S. government. You want to be that person for your people. So that's why you join the military. You didn't join the military because you thought it'd be cool to go overseas and do all these cool things and whatnot. No. You first and foremost join the military because you want to do service. And secondly, the perks of joining the military for the service is the cool things like going overseas and learning new job careers and meeting new people and going on adventures. But really, listen, speaking, active duty is what it is. You are a full-time militant, you know, you're full-time militant. There is nothing about it. All you have to do, your job is to do the job. Why some people hate this job, or why some people kind of complain and bitch about being an active duty, is because one, they didn't realize what they signed up for. You know, they didn't think about the fact that, hey, maybe there might be some crappy times, you know, and there's times where you don't like being in active duty and you kind of want to quit. But unfortunately, when it comes to active duty, you can't quit. There's no going back. Okay, I mean, there are some bases that allow you to do that. There are some instances where people are able to get out of their MOS and be able to do other things, but from what I know, you cannot quit active duty MOSs. As soon as you're inside the MOS, you cannot quit, you know? Your job is to do whatever the US government says you do under your contract. You're signing a dotted line, you're given a contract after tech school or basic training to do what they tell you to do. So, you know, that's what your job is, right? I don't know. I don't know. Everyone probably knows what it is like to be active duty. I'm not gonna go too much about what it's like to be active duty. Everyone knows the benefits and blah blah blah. It's all on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Where I feel like there's a lot of discrepancies is what people don't know about the reserves and what people don't know about the guard. So for myself, I actually joined the Air National Guard, which is different than the reserves. So put some respect on my name, right? And that's why I'm making this video, because it's kind of annoying how much people don't know about the National Guard or the reserves in that matter. I don't know jack shit about the National Guard, but I do know a lot about active duty, and I do know a lot more too about active duty, and I learned a lot more about the guards. But so the difference between guards and active duty, there's a lot and there is very little. So what I mean to say is, so when it comes down to being in active duty, right? So as soon as you get signed the dotted line that says you want to join the active duty military, you are sent or given commands to go to basic training and then go to tech school, right? And so that's how it is. They want you to get to work ASAP. They need you, you know. That's why people are recruiting for so-and-so military, because they really need people out here doing their stuff, right? And that's how it goes. As soon as it's on the line, you're given a ship date. You're sent out ASAP. However, active duty and reserves are different, or guard and reserves are a little different. So when I joined the National Guard, I wasn't given a ship date automatically. I was given a drill date though. So what is a drill date? A drill date is what everyone knows to be the day where you go once a month and one weekend out of the month for 2 days, and you go do some drill stuff. So drill is pretty much basic work, like whatever. So say you had an MOS as an IT agent, right? You're IT agent. So whatever an active duty IT agent would do is what you do, but for only 2 days out of the month. That's what drill is. For someone like me who was in the non-active portion, so in active duty, as soon as you sign a dotted line, you're activated. You're activated. What that means is that on your CAT card, and whenever you sign in, whatever you want to benefits and whatnot, you get activated, you know? So you get all full benefits the second you sign the dotted line. With guard, you're not really necessarily activated, so I don't have that many benefits just yet. What I need to say is that you're not activated, or you're not in activated status until you go to basic training. So here's the difference between guard and reserve. So guard, they go to basic training as soon as availability comes for it. So as soon as we have enough money and enough people and enough, like when all the chess pieces are in a line and whatnot, the guard folks go to basic training. You know, I actually got my ship date. Let's see, I joined the reserves, or I joined the National Guard in June, and it's currently December, and I'm shipping out in January. So I got my ship date like nearly 6 months after signing up. So great, you know. For those who are in the reserves, you don't go unless you do not go to basic training unless there's a crisis of some sort, or the US government has put down, like more requirements, requests for a certain tech. So for instance, if you're IT tech and you want to go over to, or if you're IT tech and the government has seen that there's a less or insufficient amount of IT techs in the military, then they'll send you over to start serving as an IT tech in basic training and do the tech school kind of stuff. Like for National Guard, we go as soon as there's availability. So that's the difference between reserve. And then as soon as I finish basic training, I get activated. And then as soon as I finish tech school, I start doing my MOS stuff at drill. So before going to tech school and basic training, those who are in the National Guard are supposed to report to drill every month, or whenever your sergeant says so. You're supposed to report to drill every month and do your drill stuff. So for drill stuff during non-activated positions, so you're getting paid. That's pretty nice. The guards people don't get paid. They're standing by. They're doing their life as is until someone gives them a call saying, "Hey, we need your help," right? But as a guard, you're getting paid every month, at least once or twice a month, you know? And that's what's nice about being in the guard, is that you get that money. It's not much, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's not a lot. So don't be like, oh yeah, I'm getting that money, but still, you're still getting paid more than what most folks would be getting, especially now in times of COVID-19 and whatnot. It's kind of crazy how helpful getting that guard payment is, right? But yeah, going about it too is that during drill we're considered non-active, but we're called instead of like getting your MOS, we're put into flight school. So flight school is kind of like a basic training for, it's not a basic training for dummies, but it's like a small version of basic training. I'm trying to get, ooh, that hurt a lot. I'm trying to get some, there we go. How do I pick up this torch? But yeah, flight school is like pretty much basic training, but for National Guardsmen, right? So you pretty much learn a lot about the military. You learn about all the benefits. You learn about all the resources within the military. You learn about a lot of the different positions. You learn about rankings and all this other good stuff. So that the reason why flight school is a thing is because they want guardsmen to be, I hate to say it, but they want us to be the best of the best when we go to basic training. Like typically from what I've heard, a lot of the guardsmen or a lot of the people that go to basic training that come out with honors and whatnot are guardsmen because they already had the training beforehand. They already knew what to expect. You know, I've already done about 6 months of, I have already done 6 months of drill movements, you know, like march and right face and all this other good stuff, you know. So I've done that for 6 months. So going to basic training, I already know what they're expecting. We've done PT once a month, every month. I keep myself physically fit, so I'm not even scared for the PT. I think the PT portion is gonna be easy. What I'm worried about the most is my tech school. I'm not gonna go into too much detail of what I signed up into because rumor has it my tech school is gonna be super difficult, and I don't want to brag about being so-and-so person until I actually finish tech school. Even after I get out of tech school, I'm not gonna talk about it because I'm just gonna put it right there. There's a lot to go. There's a lot to say about my tech school and blah blah blah. But anywho, yeah, like I said before, even after finishing, even after going to drill school and whatnot, flight school, I got a lot of information. I think I'm very prepared to kind of ace all the exams and tests that they give us during basic training, you know. But yeah, that's what it is being active. What's the more difference between active and guard? Oh, here's one thing people keep talking about: reserves. People think guard are reserves. No, guard is theoretically speaking, guard is full-time military or active full-time military, but on call. And so here's what I mean to say. So for instance, exactly right now, or between the last riots in California. So I'm in the California National Guard, right? When we were in riot season, and when I say riot scene, you all know what happened with the protests between George Floyd and whatnot happened across the nation, and yada yada yada. I'm not gonna go too much detail of that, but for those who don't know, here in America, you've probably seen pictures of people in military outfit just like standing by, just dealing with rioters and whatnot. Those folks who are in military outfit are guardsmen. Those are the people in the National Guard. They didn't call the U.S. military, they're called guardsmen. Why? Because one of our roles as a guardsman is to serve the state. So whenever the state is in an state of emergency, they call the guardsmen in order to help. As of right now, throughout the whole year, since the George Floyd riots and COVID-19 and all this other good stuff, we've been, I forgot what to call it. It's like I'm gonna say level 3. We've been in level 3. So what level 3 means is that my phone is always on, and I have my MCO, or not my MCO. I have my chain of commands phone numbers saved on my phone. So whenever they call, I'm ready to pick it up. Even right now, my phone is on the charger, waiting for that call. Because whenever the state needs me, I gotta go over all the way to my base and go. How do you say? What's the word? Check in, I guess. I gotta go to my base and check in with them. Tell them like, yeah, I'm ready to serve. Blah blah blah. I do all my drill status stuff, and just get ready for whatever service I need to do for that day. It's not too difficult. Oh, my chest. It's not too difficult, but that's the thing about being in the guard is that it's not like you're not working. Like, people say like, oh, you're only working part-time, yada yada yada. It's not like active duty where you're there every day. See, active duty, you go to work every day and you go do the not the same thing, but you go do what you're supposed to do as part of your contract. That's what you do every day. On the guard, you only do it once a month or whenever you're called. So that's a big issue that's a big deal because sometimes people get called. I haven't been called, but I knew some people that have been in the active guard for about a year now. And they told me recently they've been called to be serving for about like months on end, or not months on end, but every other week they'll get a phone call. Oh, we need you at the base. Oh, we need you at the base. We need you at the base, which is kind of cool because then like if you had nothing going on in your life, you're out there working, But for those who have a job and family and whatnot, it kind of sucks because you're like, dang, I didn't expect to get the base called right now, So they don't give you a schedule with this kind of stuff. Like they tell you, hey, be on call, but for active duty, you get a schedule. For guards, you don't get a schedule. And or we do have a schedule, but it's kind of in and out, you know, like you can get called whenever, but you're also scheduled to be here every month, you know. And then the next thing too is going about deployments. So deployments, I feel like, is one of the biggest things with active duty. People always want to go, is that a hole? People always want to go in the active duty military because they want to run away from their life, or they want to experience stuff that they couldn't experience in their own, like, you know, well, in own home kind of thing, right? So people are always trying to find the military as a place to like explore the world and explore different careers and blah blah, which is true. That's what you that's a perk of joining active duty. I'm trying to get out of here. I can't figure out how I got in. That's one of the perks of joining active duty, is being able to explore and whatnot. But when it comes down to the guard and whatnot, you also get the same benefits. Reserves, not so much. Reserves, oh, what the? Ah, crap. I am not ready for this thing. All right, reserves, not. How do you get in here? Okay, fuck this guy. Oh. That was weird. That was weird. That was scary. How did it get in here? Okay, let's get back to it. But reserves, not so much. You get called whenever the government needs you. So the US government, when they're in times of crises, they call you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure when a time of crisis is, but you know, they call you. But when reserves, when the state's in a crisis or when the state needs your help, we go. When it comes down to the federal government, we also serve the federal government too. We go. You know what I'm saying? The guard serves the federal and state government. We serve this. Oh. Look up at the stars and feel like they're tiny. That came out of nowhere. But yeah, with the reserves, we serve, or with the guard, we serve the state and the federal. So what that means is, if we go to war, say the U.S. government goes to war with another nation, we're getting called too. If the state goes to, not war, but if the state gets like, oh, I think the biggest thing that happened in California that called on to the reserves recently is that we had a lot of techs and helicopter pilots and just a lot of people get called to help out with the recent fires. Apparently not a long time ago, but a couple months ago, there was like a huge fire at some campground, and a whole bunch of people got engulfed with it. Around 150 people were engulfed by flames, like surrounding their homes and their campsites and whatnot, which it came out of nowhere. But guess who got called? Yeah, the National Guard, right? And so the National Guard came in, and we just swooped in with our helicopters. You know, there were firefighters and militia people all alike saying, no, we can't do this, it's too dangerous, we got to figure out how to fight the fires. And the National Guard, my National Guardsmen, were all like, hey, we were trained for this. I don't know if you guys know this, but like, this is kind of what we do. So we're just gonna send our helicopters in and our boys with the EMTs as well. So peace. And we did it. We saved like 150 people. You know, there's videos on YouTube where people are talking about how the choppers and how the helicopters sounded like, it sounded like saving grace. You know, choppers floating ahead, and they couldn't see it because of the smoke, but they knew they were there to save them. You know, like that must be a crazy time to deal with that. But yeah, so when it comes to deployment, so in active duty deployment, you go wherever the military goes, or you go wherever the military needs you, and you do whatever they ask you to do based upon your contract. And the guard is the same way, but also here's one perk. You can choose whether or not you get deployed. Like, so for instance, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my MOS. I'm supposed to be actually, as soon as I get activated, or as soon as I finish tech school and basic training, I'm actually going to drill. So drill is, like I said, the part-time aspect, right? So part-time, everyone who's in that guard has to go to drill once a month. But for me, I only go to drill 3 times or 4 times a year. So every 3 months, I'm scheduled to report to drill. However, every 6 months, I'm scheduled to do a, I'm not sure, I forgot what the word is, but I think it's a NUI. I'm not really sure what word it is, but the idea is that I'm working for anywhere between 2 weeks to 3 months with my base. And that means we're doing like a pretty much, not a tour, but we go to different bases, or we go to different components of the military, and we do, you know, my MOS stuff. Like I said, I'm not gonna tell you too much about it, but we just go we do work, is pretty much what you say, okay? And that's different for most folks, because most people don't even get that much action. I mean, I know in my guardsmen, or the people that I work with, there's a civil engineering corps, right? And they do a lot of the building construction kind of stuff, right? And so they had the opportunity to go to Africa, and they had the opportunity to go to different like countries. And I think it's Africa, where they went to Africa for 6 months to build a base or like a campsite in Africa, you know? And that's pretty interesting, because people who were not expecting to do all that and go, and out of nowhere they get called to leave for 6 months. And that's pretty nice, right? Same thing goes for my MOS too. I get to not choose, but if I want, I could put in a bid for deployment. So the way it works is kind of like this. It's like my master sergeant gets a notification that he says, hey, we need people for this deployment. Are you interested? And I will get a letter. And it's like, your mission, if you choose to accept it. You know what I'm saying? And it doesn't say much about my mission or my deployment. It just tells me your mission if you choose to accept it, and I have to accept it to get more. Oh crap! Wait, no. But whoa, what? Interesting. That was cool. But your mission, if you choose to accept it, that's pretty much all I get is a notification like that. And then they tell me that as soon as I accept it, they tell me how long my mission is. And these missions can be anywhere between, you know, 2 weeks upwards to 2 years. You know, the max that, so here's another difference between active duty and guard. The max that the guard can be activated for is, I believe, 2 years. I'm pretty sure it's 2 years. It might be 4 years, but it's not something like active duty where you can be activated for 6 to 8 years, even if your contract is only like, even if your contract's only 4 years and you get activated for 4 years, you know, you're sent out to some base and away from your home base. You're serving active duty, so that's where it is. But the guard is like, well, your home base is California, and since you're in the guard, you can only be activated for 2 years. That's kind of how it is. And then after, between each deployment or between each activation, you get I think it's like a 4-month break. So say for instance, I pick a deployment in I don't know, Istanbul, right? I pick a deployment in Istanbul. I go out there and it's a 2-year deployment, and then I get sentenced back home. I can't go back to Istanbul, or I cannot do another deployment like that for another 4 months. However, in between the rest period is what they call it, I still have to go to drill. I still also have to be assigned to or go to the you know, the biannual training / working with my MOS, you know. As like I said, reserves is where it's at. Like, it is what it is. It's like reserves, if anything, reserves should be considered part-time. It's like, it's not even part-time. It's like, I hate to bash on reserves because people keep bashing on guard, like saying guard is not important, but reserves is pretty much like, you know, you literally just wait until someone calls you, you know, or you pick a job whenever you want the job, you know, or whenever it's available. But active duty is like full-time work, and guard is on call full-time work. Like, when you're ready to go, you go, you know. Because part-time, what I would consider part-time is if they had me working like twice a week or twice a month. Like, no, they have me on call. Like, gosh darn it, like, it's cool because you also get full benefits. That's another thing too. Like, I do get full benefits. I get all the benefits of active duty. You know, I get a CAT card. I get all this other good stuff. I can go on military bases. I can shop at military bases. I can shop and do all this other stuff. You know, it's not like reserves where you don't get a CAT card in reserves until you go to basic training. But I got my CAT card a month after signing my contract, so I was like, that's pretty nice, you know. I officially feel like, it feels like I'm actually in the military, you know. I am also scheduled, or I have to keep my face a certain way, you know. I gotta make sure I'm shower, shave, hair all pressed. I mean, I'm black, so my hair stays short. Like, my hair is always in reg. As long as I don't have an afro, my hair is always in reg. As long as I shave too, my face is pretty good. But you know, that's kind of it. It is what it is with the guard. You know, if you guys have any questions about guard, or would like to get my 2 cents about it, feel free to hit me up. Active duty, what I know about active duty to be true is that when I used to live in Albuquerque, New Mexico is a huge campus / military city. So I want to say like 25% of the inhabitants of Albuquerque, New Mexico are ex or current military, you know. So it's like, oh, and when I say military, I mean Air Force. We have a huge base there called Kirkland Air Force Base. It pretty much takes up half the city. You know, it's literally half the city. The airport in Albuquerque, New Mexico is Kirkland Air Force Base. So when you want to fly in or out of Albuquerque, New Mexico, you're actually flying in or out the Kirkland Air Force Base, you know. You can go see it on Google Maps. Like, it's literally like half the state or half the city is Kirkland Air Force Base, you know. But yeah, that's what I know to be true about Air Force. You know, I have a lot of friends who've been in the Air Force. I didn't just join the National Guard because I thought it'd be cool to join the military. I joined the National Guard because the reason why I joined the National Guard is because I've done a lot. So in my time in college, I've researched and seen a lot of career fields. And I took my time to kind of digest and figure out what I want to do in life. One thing I really want to do in my life is be a YouTuber, a content creator. I love making videos. I used to make videos in elementary school and middle school. Like, it was just the funnest thing for me, you know, just to see a different world or a different view of things. This is what I really find entertaining from videos, you know. Sorry, y'all, I'm just jumping around too. I'm just too afraid to go into the portal. But yeah, to do music videos, more specifically music videos, but I'm doing any type of video right now because, you know, it's whatever. It is what it is, right? Oh, snap. Come here. Let me try to do this here real quick. I don't have a sword. But yeah, I want to do content creation all the time. I think it's super fun. It's really nice to do. It's easy for me. It comes really easy for me. But yeah, that's kind of what it is right now with me. When when it comes down to other work, I really found myself pretty good at like first responding stuff. Like I used to be an EMT, but I quit that job for very specific reasons. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, because for those who are aspiring to be EMT, go and do that, go become a firefighter and all that stuff. Just because, oh snap, how did they see me? I'm way over here. But yeah, for those who are aspiring to be EMT or firefighter, go and do that. You know, how do you say, cheers to you, bud, because you're doing a job that not many people can do or want to do. You know, even me, I didn't want to do the job. So cheers to you. I'm not gonna disgrace anyone. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but anywho, yeah, I researched a lot of career fields. You know, I wanted to be a doctor, work in a medical hospital and whatnot. Then I figured out working in a medical hospital is kind of whack for me. You know, I want the aspirants to be outdoors and do outdoorsy stuff, and not outdoorsy stuff, but just not be tied to a hospital. You know, not to be tied to a I didn't want to be tied to a office building all day. You know, oh crap. I remember, dude, this sucks. I'm so done for down here. Let me just place this here. Yeah, oh man, what the hell is that? Alright, whatever. But yeah, I didn't want to be tied down to like a dorm or a room or whatever, so I decided, nah, I'm gonna do something else. I did security for a while. I did EMTs for a while, and I thought I was really good at just dealing with I feel like wherever people panic or stress, I don't. You know, hence the reason why I thought it was pretty good. Like, I played a lot of football too when I was younger. What is going on with my controller? I played a lot of sports when I was younger, so playing sports really helped me out with dealing with playing sports really helped me deal with stress. You know, I don't get stressed out when times are necessary to be like how do you say, when people need you to be more advanced or aggressive or intense. I don't know. I don't stress out under pressure, I guess. You know, I deal good under pressure. I'm also really good at teamwork stuff. Like, I played in many teams, you know, and I played a lot of good teams. And I think a lot of the good teams benefit from me. I'm not trying to be cocky, but that's how it is. You know, if you're really a good teammate, if you're really a good team player, your team will do really well. You know, and I think a good team player is someone that can put themselves in positions that is necessary and doesn't bitch about it. Like, I remember when I played high school football for a good portion of the time I played high school football, I played D line. Like, no one wants to be a D lineman. No one ever gets points as D lineman. There's times where I played linebacker, I was killing it. I did pretty good at D lineman. Same thing goes when I played rugby. I played rugby and I was doing what I play at rugby. I played prop at one point. For those who know, prop is like the big boys of the rugby team, you know. And mind you, I was hella good. I was also doing 8-man. I was also doing wingman. You know, I was out here just getting TDs, or I'm going out here getting tries and whatnot and stuff like that. So like, I wasn't a shitty athlete. It's just that like I was very versatile, you know. So that's why I decided to join the military, because military is a very versatile. It's a very versatile like component of the world, you know, the government. So it's a great job. I also did it for, like I said, the money, because as right now there's no jobs available, and I did the National Guard because check this out. When you're in the National Guard, and for my future, what I want to do is actually open up my own private not military. I want to open up my own private security company, and also open up like a few other businesses. But security is something I really want to do in the future as a privatized, and like, I hate to say it, but I'm gonna be a contract for hire. But when it comes down to the National Guard, when you're in the National Guard, you're actually working on active basis. So the people that I work with are active duty, you know. So there's guardsmen. So every month I go to a National Guard base, right? But on this National Guard base is active duty soldiers, like people who are in active duty Air Force, you know. So I go over there and I report to them, and I do, you know, whatever business we have to do for the drill day or for the work week or whatever, you know. And there should be a way to get up here. But yeah, so when I go to them, you get your foot in the door quicker than anyone else. Like, when I want a certain job or I want to work at a certain base, I'm more likely to get that base or job if I'm in the National Guard versus active duty. For instance, people who don't want to say for instance, you're someone that doesn't want to leave the United States, and you really just want to be in town because it's better for you to be around your family and whatnot. The National Guard is where it's at, because the way it works is, if you're in the National Guard and you work part-time, you're more likely to find out job openings available. And when you find those available job openings, you can stay there a lot longer. You know what I'm saying? Whereas active duty, you're traveling so much anywhere. You can get reassigned, from what I heard, every year or every 4 years. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you never really know what bases have job openings, because you'll be leaving that base in a couple months, you know? Whereas an active duty or a National Guard, you're staying at that base. You're sent to that base. That's where you work, right? And then whenever a job opening comes, like for me, there's a tech sergeant position opening up sometime soon. So I'm gonna take that as soon as I'm qualified for it, right? And so that's nice because the tech sergeant is a full-time job, you know? Even though it's at the National Guard, it's a full-time job. And as a tech sergeant, it's kind of complicated how I go from National Guard to active duty, but as a tech sergeant, I just work there every week like any other active duty gentleman, but I'm working at the National Guard base, which is nice because I also get housing paid for, and I get all the good stuff, but I'm also in the National Guard. But yeah, anywho, that's what it is to be like a National Guardsman. You know, it gives you a better, I'm gonna be honest with you, when it comes down to people who want to increase their position in the military or be more of a militant person, you know, there's like different career fields, but if you want your career to be in the military, joining the National Guard is the best step forward, because while I'm also in the National Guard, I can also do things on the side. Like for instance, I'm doing YouTube, you know, I spend a lot of my time actually working right now as a security guard. But even too, I'm preparing, what I'm trying to do is prepare my life for outside of the military, because you really can't be in the military for life. The military has contracts. I think the longest someone can be in the military is 40 years, but you can't be in the military for life. So what I'm doing is preparing my life for outside of the military is what I'm doing now, right? And so henceforth, I'm looking at careers, I'm looking at jobs around the skill sets that I have now, and I'm using the National Guard to build and enhance my skill sets. Hence the reason why I joined the National Guard and active duty, because active duty will put you here and stay here, you know. But I use the National Guard to enhance my skill sets in one aspect, and I'm also using the other careers that I find in the civilian world to activate my other. How did I pick that up? Oh, I just dropped that. Dude, this is so complicated. All right, whatever. I'm using my careers in the civilian world to also attribute to other skill sets. You know, not other. But I don't know what else am I gonna say. National Guard is where it's at. Trust me. But yeah. Thanks for watching, y'all. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. If you're interested in talking to my recruiter who recruited me, I can definitely sign you up and give you his contact number. He's a real, like, at first I was kind of skeptical, but with COVID-19 being the way it was, he was actually on it. You know, I don't know how other people had it during COVID-19, but you know, he got me situated ASAP. I think this is the fastest I ever thought I could actually join the military. You know, and I'm really thankful for him and showing me. He had so much information, and he was very helpful with me getting to where I wanted to be. Like, he helped me out with setting up meetings with different master sergeants, helped me out with like understanding different career fields and whatnot. I don't know, he's been in the military, he's done active duty. My recruiter has done active duty for about, I think he told me he did it for like 16 years, and now he's doing guard. So it's like, you know, he knows what it's like to be in active duty and guard, you know. So it's like, it's kind of neat that he was able to become a recruiter, because not a lot of recruiters know a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Some recruiters just do the job because that's the only job they want to do. You know, which is cool. I get it. You also want to help people get into the military. But he did it because like he really wants people to know that, hey, this is what it is, man. And if you want to join, I can help you. But if you don't want to join, it's cool. You know, that's what something that really put me off about him, was like, he's like, hey man, are you sure you want to join the National Guard? I mean, it's not what you think it is. I'm like, yeah, but I want to join. He's like, yeah, okay, sure, man, sure. You know, he didn't force me, and every step of the way, he kept like educating me. He kept on giving me tips and strategies on what I want to do with my life. Like, I told him what I want to do in my life, and he says, hey, man, you know what? That actually sounds really great, and we could definitely utilize you. But you know, there's other avenues, there's other ways you can do this. And I was like, yeah, I know. But he's like, all right, man, well, we'll help you out for sure. And so that's why I joined the National Guard. And I'm really thankful for all the people that helped me and supported me on the way. My master sergeants, all the guardsmen, all the people that I've met here and there through basic training and whatnot. You guys are all, crap. You guys are all super helpful, and thank you. But yeah, without ado, please, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe. I guess as I progress in my adventure and journeys throughout life, I think I may put some more military focused content on here. I don't really like doing that because I feel like if I did that, people wouldn't follow me for my actual content, which is cars, video games, and lifestyle. But the military is part of my life now, so I guess that is content I should add, right? But yeah, like I said, please don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. If you have any questions, leave it in the comment down below. Like and share with friends. Thanks for watching, and this is your boy, Fawaz, aka Fuzi, aka the Militia Weeb. Peace.